Hi everyone, welcome back to Canterlot Siege 3. Today we will be playing on map 3, and I've already completed it, but I said I would be using Sunset Shimmer a lot at some point last video. I'm not going to be using her that much. She's not that great still, based on my testing. Anyway, I was thinking about doing a solo for the start of this video, but I'm not going to do it. However, I will show you guys how to start by doing a solo. All you have to do is summon Sombra's superpower, and then quickly skip all the waves. That's all you have to do. Because by doing that, you're essentially getting rid of all of the enemies that are coming forward. Except for probably a few near the end. Except not really. Managed to get rid of all of those too. Well, I didn't finish off Sweetie Belle and Apple Bloom, but I can have Sunset Shimmer finish the job for me. Which I almost didn't. Wow, that was way too close. But if you do it optimally, you should only need one unit to finish off everyone using Sombra's power in that unit. Anyway, moving forward. I already skipped the first 10 waves. Wish I could do that for many more waves, but if you try to spam Sombra's superpower at the beginning, eventually Spike will completely screw you up. I should actually put up Chrysalis as a boss tower really early. Because why not? In fact, I'll only use Chrysalis as a boss tower on this map. So Sunset Shimmer over there is basically going to be picking off stragglers. While Chrysalis and the Night Guard here, they'll be taking care of everything. Anyway, 1.1 actually introduced more changes, even from the previous last video. The Night Guard super, now it pierces all enemies, and when it does, it pierces the enemies, but it actually reduces its damage every hit. Even so, this change makes the Night Guard, I believe, by far the most powerful of all the units, except perhaps next to Rover. Even though Rover got nerfed, he's still plenty powerful, especially because Rover actually got a buff. His super. Oh wow, actually a Welt Orb. Just a small thing before I interrupt myself. The Welt Orb got buffed. It's 20% more bids from defeating enemies instead of 10%. That's very useful. Anyway, Rover got buffed in a certain way just because of how his super... Well, his super got buffed, basically. Instead of 30% minimum, it's actually now 20%. So, he actually deals more damage on the onset anyway. Kinda crazy. Anyway, as you can see, the Night Guard, now that he has his super on, he's dealing a whole lot more damage. Very easily, too. He screwed up when it comes to finishing off a few enemies, but that's okay. Just gonna get a changeling here real quick, so I can slow down some of these enemies. They're being a bother, after all. I'm purposely not using Gilda and Trixie on this map, by the way. Trying to challenge myself to some extent. What do I use next? I want to use a Rover. In order to show quickly what changes, how the changes affected him. He deals less damage, though, I believe. I'm not sure. It doesn't seem that way. I guess if I were to make a comparison, it'd be a lot clearer, but while I'm playing right now, I can't really do that. Alright, see, damage reduction after each jump changes from 50% to 20%. That's a buff. Despite the fact that he was supposed to be nerfed, though, he's still by far one of the safer bets when it comes to using as a tower. Just because of his range, really. I guess we should further reduce his range, but if we do it too much, he'd probably go from being the most useful to kind of useless. Anyway, one more changeling here, because slowdown is an important stats. An important debuff, rather. And extra range is also an important buff. Suri's still by far, I believe, the most useful of all the towers. Although, I've heard that Lightning Dust is pretty good herself. And I wouldn't call Iron Will a slouch either. All the support towers are pretty much equal with each other. Except Flim and Flam, he's only useful in the beginning. Oh, cool, another Welt Orb. Can't put it on Chrysalis, unfortunately. guess I'll put the Sunset Shimmer right here in the beginning, so her burn effect will have some effects on the enemies early in game. Sunset Shimmer, her problem is that she can't finish off enemies in like enemies that are in tight clusters. She can cause damage to all of them, but she can't finish them off herself. Her fire effect doesn't freaking kill off enemies. It really should, to be honest. Either that or her fire effect should like, her super should allow her to deal at least 1 damage to multiple enemies, so she can finish off enemies that are like at 1 HP from her fire effect. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. She just is no good. Anyway, I'm gonna put the lightning dust here, I think. No, I'm gonna put an iron will. Because the lightning dust would be useful for making Chrysalis attack faster, but I can put the lightning dust right here, actually. There we go. Well, Spike doesn't stand a chance. I believe Spike got buffed, though. I'm not sure if he's faster or he has more HP, but he's caused me lots of troubles in my testing runs. But I wasn't, like... If you don't have a changeling out at this point and Spike's here, he's probably gonna give you a run for your money at the very least. But as long as you have changelings, he's fairly easy. No! 9 more Night Guards, more Sunset Shimmers. Well, you know what? Let's make a comparison. Sunset Shimmer deals 39 damage, range of 184 pixels, delay 0.8 seconds, and skill 4.4 second burn. Night Guard, damage 30, range 149 pixels, delay 0.5 seconds, although that's because of the lightning dust. And skill 7 projectiles. So the Night Guard attacks faster, he deals a little less damage, but he attacks faster. And in fact, the Sunset Shimmer is actually buffed by the Iron Will, so I'd say you'd have pretty much no reason to ever use the Sunset Shimmer at all, because the Night Guard is pretty much better in every way. Especially with his super on. So Sunset Shimmer, she definitely needs a buff. Maybe she needs Rover's range to some extent. Actually, she kind of has, but she could use a bit more, and a bit more power too. Because right now, she's very weak. That last mare duel that zipped across the land, was that a glitch with the Night Guard stun? Probably. Anyway, sorry for skipping the last 9 waves, but as long as you build changelings, rovers, and Night Guards, you'll do fine. This is, I'd say so far, this is by far the easiest map. The enemies have to cover a lot of ground. Comparatively, in Discord's map, the enemies don't cover a lot of area. Oh, Wonderbolts, still easy. I'm not sure if they got buffed again, but they just don't have enough HP. Oh my goodness, I completely forgot. If you right click, you can hide boss speech. It's still showing it right now because it was activated, but when we get to Shining Armor and Cadence, it's probably not going to show it. Because it's still there. It does also show damage, which is an experimental thing. And set low quality to reduce quality to improve performance. That's a good change, but I actually reduced the screen so that my frame rate stays very high. So not needed in my case anymore. I'm still skipping the waves around, but I have something to say right now. The Unicorn Smasher, Pegasus Smasher, and Earth Pony Smasher Orb that I don't have here. The Earth Smasher Orb is probably the best one because you faced Earth Ponies the most, while you faced less Unicorns than Pegasi and Earth Ponies. So, Earth Pony Orb, most useful. Unicorn Smasher, least useful. Just saying that right now. I've been skipping lots of waves, haven't I? Well, up next is Shining Armor and Cadence. Just to comment right now, Doggy is still overpowered. Let's face it. He might even need like a complete change in like makeup and how he's designed, because there's pretty much no reason to use other towers when you have him linked to Surrey, especially. Oh, actually, well, there's been a change to Cadence and Shining Armor's dialogue. It's basically, instead of Cadence like mentioning that it was more exciting than life at the Crystal Empire, she said something about Shining Armor being better than he was at the Quiz Check game, something like that. It's something really minor, but well, Footsie changed that. It also I kept calling you Footsie01, but he recently mentioned that he wants me to call him just Footsie because the 01 was just added for him to differentiate his nickname. No problem. I just tend to call people by what they specifically put their username as. Because why not? Then again, it did bother me when I was White Hawk Paunch, where people kept calling me Paunch or something, and where some people would call you White. My goodness. That is not what I meant my username to be like at all. Cool, another Welt Orb. Have a range orb? No, I do not. Well, I've got 3 linked dogs right now. I think that's more than enough. In fact, I could probably use some more Night Guards, I guess, maybe. There's not really not much point for more Night Guards, honestly. I guess I'll power up this Sunset Shimmer all the way over there. Because why not? Seriously, Rover, he only deserves to be nerfed. There's literally no reason to buff him in any way at all now. His super is fine. His super was underwhelming in the version 1.0, but now it's perfectly fine. However, he really just... either the other towers have to be brought up to his level in terms of usefulness, or he has to be brought back down. Probably reducing his damage, I guess. Or making his attack a lot slower. Yeah, probably making his attack a lot slower would be the solution at this point. Because at the current rate of how fast he's attacking, he's just too powerful. There's no reason to use anything else when it comes to dealing damage. As a tower that catches enemies that are far in the distance, he could still be useful, but as one that's capable of also attacking relatively quickly, he's just too overpowered for that. Oh, time for some goo-goo. Glue-goo. I'd say out of the main 6 armies, Pinkie Pies is by far the toughest, just because of how they all tank hits really well, especially Mod. Mod probably like makes you spend time on the timer the most out of all the enemies. Cool, another orb. What a pretty useless one. If there's one weakness about me using this setup, it's that I don't get many orbs for it. Many useful ones either. Although that's purely because of RNG. Sometimes you just don't get lucky. I'd say Gilda would have some use in this type of setup. In places like here where Lightning Dust is, she'd probably deal more damage than Rover in that case, but probably not that useful. Trixie should probably still have some use for defense reducing skills, but as far as damage goes, Trixie is really underwhelming. She deals like even less damage when her super is on. I guess if that's a trade you have to do for the fact that she suddenly gains the ability to attack multiple enemies, but still. Actually, Rarity's family is also very problematic. Largely because of Spike. He feels like a tacked on addition that makes things a whole lot tougher. Crap. Well, you are useless. Yeah, I have some gold to waste. Despite what it looks like. There we go. Well, yeah, Rarity's family made it the furthest compared to all the other ones. But not far enough. Be extremely careful with Rainbow Dash. She'll move really fast, and if you haven't gotten rid of Day and Do and Scootaloo, she's probably going to make it past everything. Stun helps a lot to prevent her from doing that problematic thing, though. Seriously, look at how fast Rainbow Dash is. Easily the fastest of all of the enemies. Yeah, just enemies. She made it the furthest. Maybe I'm actually getting very slacky. Maybe I should make sure I don't get completely screwed on the Gugu here. Well, I have lots of gold spare. Sheesh. Time for some more night guards, I suppose. Could make some more rovers too, but night guards are good too. Can't go wrong with night guards either. I have room for one more super powered up rover. Because why not? Oh goodness, it's the Royal Guards. I forgot about those. When it comes to superpowers, they're the one type of wave that you really want the Nightmare Moon power ready. Seriously, I'm gonna click the button as soon as I have the opportunity. Because you really, if you don't use Nightmare Moon, you're likely gonna lose at least a few lives against these guys. Maybe. I probably didn't need to this time, but I can't take that chance. Even though I actually already got a perfect on this map. Really don't have many towers I can use, honestly. I mean orbs that I can use. But then again, I'm not using Gilda, and that's I did a small trick at the beginning with the superpowers, so it makes sense that I don't have many orbs right now. I guess that's a consequence of easily skipping all of that entire beginning sequence. In fact, Footsie, do you think you might actually disable superpowers for the first 10 waves? Because otherwise, there's a very easy opportunity to use King Sombra to get rid of the first 10 waves very easily. Makes soloing the beginning with any tower you want very easily. There was something similar in Canterlot Siege 2 where the Celestia superpower allowed you to basically solo the first 10 waves with everyone, but that was situational. Well, I still think this fight lasts a bit too long. If it was the final battle, I wouldn't mind, but since it isn't, it just feels like it's making us wait for too long. Doesn't help that Celestia and Luna are basically moving at the same speed as Maud did. Wouldn't mind if they got like a huge HP nerf and moved like 40 or even 50 pixels a second instead. Or maybe Luna should get her own power that she'll use occasionally. Like Celestia has her blind you for no reason at all power, and Luna will have a power where she summons the night and all your towers attack more slowly because of it. Or they have less range. Yeah, it'd make more sense if they have less range. Of course, that'd make Luna's super ability more useful or more antagonizing than Celestia's, because Celestia's doesn't actually really do anything, but still, it made this fight a lot more interesting than basically slow as molasses princesses moving across the field, occasionally blinding you. Well, they didn't even make it past halfway, so not a challenge at all, these princesses. And know what? If you can beat the princesses this easily, like they can't even get past half your map, then you don't have to do anything when it comes to beating the power ponies. Don't even touch anything. Also, skipping the dialogue right there saved us a bit of time. Also, I finally got that super range thing. If I were to put it on one of these rovers, they'd have access to the entire map, period. I think the power ponies got their status changed a bit even after like the version 1.1 I played a few like last time. I believe they're like a little more fast with less HP maybe, or actually no, I think they're just faster with more HP in some cases. Either way, they were buffed in a sense, but Fluttershy is still very weak, overwhelmingly weak, let's say, and she just doesn't get very far. Maybe when she uses her superpower, like changes into a super form, she like has more defense. She resists hits more. Not sure if that's quotable though. I mean seriously, Mistress Marvelous is faster and has more HP than her, and her ability is a lot better too. I mean, look at this. And of course, Mistress Marvelous is going to cover a whole lot more distance than every previous opponent before her. But still not that much. Maybe the power ponies need some cronies, you know, to distract your towers from attacking them directly. Like maybe Radiance can create some illusions of herself. And, well, maybe you can use the lock-on system to actually target the right one somehow. Although, you can't really, the lock-on system, you can't like manually choose them to attack a certain opponent. It's basically based on everything that gets in range with your towers, because they attack automatically. It makes sense, and it'd be way too insane to actually manage all your towers to manually attack a single opponent while there's 5 around. So, I'm just throwing out ideas here, because I feel the power ponies just aren't that great still, when it comes to like post final bosses. You'd think Zap will be a bit faster than this, but she is not. I believe Rainbow Dash is faster actually. As in Rainbow Dash Vanilla, especially with a Rain Boom. So it's actually strange to see Zap move this slowly. By the way, there's a comic of the Power Ponies coming out sometime soon at some kind of annual convention, and it shows the actual colors of the Power Ponies. And Also, it shows that the masked Matterhorn, the pony that Twilight was playing as, is actually a unicorn. Nifty things to know about. Technically canon, because everything that happens in the comics is canon until the show contradicts it. Of course, I wish they weren't just palette swaps. I wish they were like had a slightly more original designs, not completely insanely different. But for the most part, they're basically the same, especially Rarity. The Rarity Power Pony, or Radiance rather. I think the only slight change between the other Power Ponies is that they have slightly different main styles, and that Masked Matterhorn is actually a unicorn. Or maybe it's a nerd pony that uses a plastic thing for its horn. Nah, it's probably a unicorn. Really, Twilight? Targeting the opponents, or the towers that have absolutely done very little thing, or anything at all, in this map. Oh, but attacking those rovers there, well, not the right rovers that she was supposed to attack to. These are the rovers she should be targeting, honestly. And she's still ignoring them. I think Twilight actually uses her freezing ability a lot more often now. But not often enough, and not accurate enough either. Congratulations! You have beaten the game. I think? Nope, not yet. So, someone was wondering, not wondering, but someone was complaining that they always have trouble against Derpy. What you do is you farm a bit of gold, or bits rather, before the before your Derpy appears. And as soon as she switches your towers around, place some changelings in places where they might not cover the area. Like, I have two goo changelings right here, so I'm gonna put another one right here that's a normal one. And I don't bother upgrading Splash because there's no need to. And I'm actually gonna... Actually, no, I should say these series are still useful. So basically, yeah, that's the name of the game here. We're gonna make sure that we have changelings everywhere that it can cover and make sure that it doesn't... make sure Derpy is constantly slowed. I have a bunch of rovers that have like infinity range, so we're fine in that department. But I'm gonna have to make some more series to make sure that my units are all continuously slowing things down. That's goo rather. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. Yeah, it's kind of annoying when your towers end up in a mess and most of them become useless. But when a tower becomes useless like this one right here, just sell it and continue making other ones on the other side. Because this is the last enemy, so there's no reason to not make more towers, honestly. Well, I'm hoping Sunset Shimmer will be buffed for version 1.2. She's just too weak to be of any use as far as I'm concerned. Rover still needs to be nerfed a bit more. Night Guard, maybe his stunning should be last longer, because his super is what feels overpowered. As far as his base stats are concerned, the Night Guard is perfectly fine though. But Sunset Shimmer, she needs to be buffed. Gilda, she's fine to some extent, although I should prefer if she had a special orb farming ability to make her more useful in the beginning, because that feels like she's supposed to be one of the first towers you should use. While Trixie, well, maybe she should deal more damage during her super, or her defense reducing ability should be more pronounced. Maybe. Anyway, that's Derpy. Didn't even make it across half the map. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me use I can't use Chrysalis in the last second. Well, Derpy still glitched the screen anyway. I think it happens when you have the super toolbar up or something. Maybe? I'm not sure. Well, that's map 3. Victory, very easily. If you guys thought I shouldn't be skipping so much, please comment about it below, because the reason I skipped around so much, so many ways, because I feel this game is a bit long on some ends, so I'm going to try to make these videos a little shorter, especially when I have nothing to say. But if you guys would rather see all the waves completely unedited, please say so below, in the comment section below. Otherwise, I hope you've all enjoyed this video, and I hope you all have a very nice day. Bye-bye!